Welcome to Beyond Life Paranormal Podcast Sunday show. We're your hosts, Russell Reynolds Sr. and Jr. Got a good show tonight. Got two special guests with us again this week. Say hi to the chat. If StreamYard stops acting up here. Greetings, guys and ghouls. Hey, Gary, welcome in. Sandy, Mary, welcome in. Before we get into the show tonight, we'd like to thank everybody who bought tickets for Mortuary Manor. You can still get your last-minute VIP tickets and general admission tickets. She extended ticket sales to May 8th. The payment ones are all sold out already. So, hey, Jeanette, welcome in. So get your tickets soon, and we'll see you there Mother's Day at Mortuary Manor. We look forward to it. And it's coming up quick. It's only a couple weeks away here. And we'll see you all in Ohio. And then June 26th, we will be at Missouri State Penitentiary at the Get Haunted event, investigating out there with the guys from Get Haunted, Next of Kin, Paranormal, and several of our friends. And then come see us August 8th at Bordertown Paracon. My dad and I are presenters this year, so come on out and see us guest speak. We will have merch out there, equipment that we built out there for sale, figurines, all kinds of stuff, so you won't want to miss it. And then the weekend after that, we are at Crypticon KC. That is the big horror movie convention in Kansas City. This is the first year they're doing the paranormal portion of it at the Kansas City, and my dad and I are headlining it. And we are guest speaking. Come on out and get your tickets fast for that, because it does sell out. They will be gone because people come from all over the world and other countries just to come to Crypticon KC to see the actors and stuff like that. So be sure to come show your support. Check that out. There's the full weekend pass, which gets you in all weekend. If you get the VIP ones, it'll get you in 30 minutes early before general admission. And then there's the other package, which gets you the dinner with the actors and all that. We will be out there all 3 days. It starts on a Friday evening and goes all the way to Sunday. And then after that, we will be in Kentucky at the West Kentucky Paranormal Expo. My buddy Ken 10 Paranormal, Kent Wilson, he is putting this on. And it's hosted by Josh Morris from Teps Investigates. And Aaron G. Thompson is the headliner this year out there. My dad and I are also the guest speakers, Outlaw Paranormal, that are good friends of ours, and several others. So without further ado, we're going to get into the show and bring our guests on. We got our first guest, psychic medium Rebecca. And then our second guest, Carol Garcia.
Hi.
Gary had a question already. Mortuary Manor, was it a house before it was a funeral parlor? Nope, it was a full funeral home. Down in the basement, they still got everything all set up, the embalming room, everything in that place. Last I heard, there's still actually people's ashes are still there.
Oh.
In that place.
Ones that never got picked up?
Yeah, never got picked up.
That's sad.
Yeah, that's sad.
There was still active bodies in there too. For a while, there were still bodies in there when they shut down. They shut down in July of last year and then opened it up for investigations in November. And I've only seen one YouTuber there that investigated it.
Huh.
And they said the place has got some good activity. I talked to the owner of it, and he says it's a pretty active place.
I stayed in a B&B in where were we? Oh, St. Augustine. Was it
Okay.
St. Augustine? Yeah, it was a funeral home before that. Before they turned it into a B&B. And there was a spirit there that stayed in the room all night with us, watching us sleep. And then in the morning my keys got locked into my suitcase.
Oh
And
wow.
I had to call a locksmith to come and break open my suitcase to get my keys out.
That
It was
sounds like
crazy.
the jokester of the at the Stanley that if you leave jewelry laying out on the dresser, it'll come along and swipe it.
Hmm. And it was funny because the woman that ran the B&B had the number right on hand to call because a spirit there had done that to her car out in the front of the building like a couple of minutes before that, like a couple of months before that. And
Mm-hmm.
her car got locked with the keys in it.
Oh wow.
So yeah, she had the number handy so that when my suitcase got locked like that, I was able to call. He came really quick too. And boy, did they charge for that.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap.
They
But
had a
we,
guy a couple years ago. At Missouri State Penitentiary, they told him not to touch the cell doors because the cell doors are still active in that place, and they don't know which ones open those doors. Well, he got playing around with the door, and he got locked in a cell, and he was in there for about 7 hours.
he shouldn't have touched the door.
And they had to call a locksmith to break him out, and then the locksmith didn't get there for like 4 hours later.
Wow.
And he had to pay, I think it was like $900 to get to that locksmith to get him out.
Yeah, my bill wasn't that bad, but it was expensive. And we didn't want to wait, so because we were there for a certain amount of time, we wanted to go and do the stuff that we had planned for the day.
Right.
So yeah, he came within like 15 minutes of the call,
Awesome.
so that was really good. But it took him a little bit to get it open.
Let's deep dive a little bit into paranormal. Like, what are ghosts? And
This is a good one for you, Carol.
what everybody's opinion is on what they think a ghost is.
A lot of people have different opinions on that, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know about anybody else, but for me, I believe that there's ghosts and there's spirits, and they're both different, right?
Yep.
Yep.
I feel like a ghost is a spirit that hasn't gone into heaven, and that they're still here, earthbound, and then could be because there's so many reasons. Because like they could have passed suddenly,
Right.
and maybe felt like they still had something that they had to take care of,
Mm-hmm. Now
or they don't want to leave a loved one behind. There's so many reasons.
here's a good one.
What?
How's a ghost turn into a demon?
How a ghost turns into a demon?
You know that one, Carol?
Well, to me, the only way that a ghost would turn into a demon is if they allowed it in to their energy, right?
Yep.
Yep.
They affect the ghost just like they do a natural human being. They'll get a spirit and a ghost to do their dirty work for them.
Right. And
But
it's so not good, especially if a spirit's been here for a long time and hasn't been able to take care of what they thought they were still here to take care of.
Yeah.
What happened to Rebecca?
I don't know. She
I
just
know.
dropped off.
Uh-oh.
Wonder if she had internet issues or something.
Yeah, I hope she can get back in.
But, and that's like even with your demonic too. There's two different types of demonic. You've got your standard demonic, which was never living, They've never walked the earth. They're the falling angels. And then you got inhuman demonic,
Right.
which is your inhuman spirit, demonic spirits.
Yeah,
See,
and I'd like to get.
they also possess the regular spirits too.
They could get in and yeah, and cause them to do their bidding.
Something happened. Hold on, trying to fix it. All right. Just follow that same link and it'll take you right backstage.
So yeah, I mean that a spirit. I believe that a spirit has gone to heaven and come back, possibly to help others.
Yep.
Or to see loved ones that have been constantly looking for them. You know, some
Yep.
people can't let that go. And that's not good either for a spirit, you know, for a family member that has passed. You should try to do your grieving and then let them go on to where they need to go.
Yep. And then there's that other theory, like your ghosts or your ones that committed suicide and stuff like that. They're the ones that are, my opinion, are considered ghosts because they're the ones that will never cross over to heaven, because if you tie in the religion aspect of it, your ones that commit suicide committed a sin.
Yeah.
That's like if they get the electric chair or something like that.
Yeah, like your prisoners and stuff for murder and stuff like that.
And that's
a lot
how
of
you
those
get
negatives like to hang around and cause
Yep.
havoc.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, they still hang around Missouri State Penitentiary like crazy and wreak havoc in there.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of the prisons have spirits there that are, you know, hanging around, which I don't know why I would want to leave if I had been locked up, you know?
Right.
But I mean, there could be a reason that they're trapped there.
Well, a lot of them, like Missouri State, a lot of them died there. There was a lot of deaths that happened there. I mean, one inmate got actually stabbed in front of a guard, and there was nothing the guard could do about it.
That's gruesome.
See, snap your finger, and she appears.
like Bewitched, right?
What about you, Rebecca? What do you think a ghost is?
A ghost is a entity that basically that is earthbound for whatever reason. There's various reasons, and I have similar understandings to what Carol is saying between spirits and ghosts, and that the spirits, a lot of them have crossed over, and just like our loved ones, they will visit us from the other side.
Yeah.
And that is the difference between, you know, the ghosts and spirits.
Awesome.
There's also different types of ghosts. Different cultures have different understandings of that. So it delves into different topics with that on the various types of ghosts.
Hey, Granzer.
Hi.
So, yeah. I mean, that's like when you got kicked off, we were talking about even like the demonic, you've got two different types. You've got your demonic that's never was living, and then you got your inhumans, which is the ones that possess regular spirits to do their dirty work.
There's lower demons also and higher ones, right?
Yep, there's lower levels, there's higher ones. Your higher ones are the ones that rule the roost. They're the ones that are strong. They're very hard to get rid of. They'll fight you tooth and nail.
We dealt with higher one. Remember that?
Yep.
Oh man. And that took us what? About
6 months.
6 months.
That was our first case, about 6 months.
Yeah.
It took us to get rid of that thing.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think I've ever come across anything that's that negative,
You don't want it, Carol.
other than what I grew up with.
Yeah. They're not fun.
No.
And
See, they what they do, they lie.
Yep.
And they could change like talk like a little child or oh, your mother,
yep,
and they could change on a dime.
they're the perfect liars.
Oh,
And
yeah.
boy, and if you stand there and believe it, you're falling right into it.
Oh, they could trick you. That's for
Oh,
sure.
Yeah, Granzer
Make
had
you
a
think it's someone
question.
else.
Said to piggyback from what Carol had said, I wonder, do prisoners can't or choose not to leave prisons due to one, the negative energy is very strong there, so it may bind their souls there? It could be.
Yeah.
And I mean, two, it's someplace they knew. They're probably happy there because they could wreak havoc and cause the violence like they did when they got arrested.
Okay, it's like
Probably stuff.
say if you were in prison for say about maybe almost your lifetime, and then you get out on a parole. You get out there and it's a different world
Right.
because you think, like you go for a job or something, and everything's different out there. And you walk up to somebody and a cop come up to you and you go, "Yes, boss,"
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, a lot of them, when they get out
It's-
into that real life,
Yeah.
they're so used to the prison system that
They do something to get back in.
they want to go back
Yeah.
because that's all they know.
See?
Which is
And then-
sad.
Yeah, like Granzer said, the outside world changes too much, and it does for them. I mean, that's like Sonny Liston, the boxer. He was housed in Missouri State, but he got out, but he doesn't haunt the place. Many people go there investigating, trying to call Sonny Liston, but Sonny Liston isn't there. Even the staff will tell you that he's not there.
Did Sonny ask if Sonny D was there or what? No, I'm just kidding.
Right?
Yeah.
But
It's sad
Right.
that if someone's been in prison that long and they feel that they need to stay there after they've passed, it's sad because
Yeah.
they should be able to at that point. But I can understand, like what Granger was saying, and they could be trapped there because of the negative, of what's in the prison itself,
Yeah.
Yeah.
causing them to stay or not be able to be released from that area.
yeah, I mean, there's up in Cell House 4, and that's the housing unit that Sonny Liston was in. That was for just straight all the black people. Up in the one cell, they were letting him out to go to breakfast, and a bunch of inmates broke in this guy's cell, and they stabbed him. And they stabbed out his eyes, and he actually crawled out of his cell across the catwalk
Oh, that's horrible.
and died right there. They had a riot in the 50s there too, that a lot of them died and stuff like that.
Yeah. And then
Yeah,
you have
I
the
mean-
prisons that have the the death chamber, gas chamber.
Yeah, this one's got the gas chamber. They can execute 2 prisoners at a time in this gas chamber.
Oof.
Mhm. Wow.
Granger had another question. What about the old POW camps? We hear of old American Civil War POW camps being haunted. That energy has to be off the charts. Oh yeah, it is. I've heard a lot of people talk about that POW camps.
Yeah, I
Can
don't think
you
I would want to be in those areas.
can you imagine the ones that are over in Vietnam too?
Yeah.
How much energy is in those?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of grief and sadness.
Yep.
You know,
But all the American soldiers that were kidnapped and held in
Yeah.
them, and the treatment they had to go through.
especially like the Holocaust, camps
Yeah.
and all.
I'm sure that's holding a lot of energy there. I mean, just the Civil War battlefields itself too
Right.
holds a lot of energy.
Yep.
Like just like Gettysburg does, you could hear
Yeah.
everything going on there because of the energy that's, all the blood that was spilled on those grounds.
Yeah, you hear my audio from the live that I did out there on Devil's Den, and you can actually hear boots marching.
Hmm.
You can hear horses galloping.
When I saw that Asian in that full-bodied armor, I was so shocked because I had no idea that there were any type of Asians fighting in Gettysburg with Americans.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea that had taken place, and for me to see that, it literally like popped up out of the ground and then went,
Yeah,
oh
it
shit,
was
they can
quick.
see me.
Yeah, it was quick when it popped up. I was actually shocked when you told me about it, and then I started watching that footage, and I was like, "Damn, it was there 1 minute and then gone."
Whoa.
Yeah, it was like it saw you
Yep.
recording him, and he dropped literally right back down and where he came up.
You remember where we went into the bloody field and
Mhm.
we took some equipment out there?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was live on Facebook, and
Hmm.
I didn't see it when I was live, and I'm explaining to the viewers what
Yeah.
the history in the field and stuff, and Carol spotted it.
Oh yeah.
And she gave me the timestamp of it, and I rewound it back, and I found it.
Hmm.
And it's a Chinese man in armor pops up
Yeah,
and then disappears.
it was pretty funny that he noticed that you were recording him, and he hightailed it out of there.
Are some paranormal investigators allowed in some of those popular places overseas? If so, what were the reports that came out of those places? I know my buddy Rob Dermarest has done quite a bit over there, because he was with GHI when they were filming GHI and stuff.
Where did they go? Do you remember?
He's been to Germany. He's been all over internationally. And us cold spotters, we've got cold spotters teams over there that investigate a lot of them popular places overseas.
Hmm. There are some cultures that don't allow investigating, right?
Yep. I mean, that's like Lemp Castle in Ireland.
Uh-huh.
He does not really let investigators in there. He let taps in there, and that was about it because of that elemental that's in there. That elemental is not friendly. I can remember when it blew Dustin Perry over. It's all
I
he
can't
smelled
remember
was
the name of that location. It was either Ireland or Scotland. I think it was Jenny Sullivan had video of something down in the basement that it was not human. And that thing was never human. It literally looked like a worm, and
Oh,
it
wow.
wiggled. And she had showed that to me because I saw that on the front of the house not too far from here. I didn't know what I was seeing. It showed red I saw red, and then I saw this black thing wiggle across the front of the house, and Sometimes I have no idea what I'm seeing. And then she said that she had gotten that at that location, but I can't remember what place it was.
Right.
It was the one where the devil was supposedly had played cards.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I've read something on that.
And somebody dropped a card, and when they looked down, they saw hooves. I can't think of the name of it.
Granzer said, I wonder if is the USA maybe more open to investigating POW military battlefield areas in other countries. Maybe the culture won't allow it, respecting the dead. Well, I know like the battlefields on Gettysburg, I was told if they catch you with paranormal equipment out there, the Rangers will kick you off the battlefields. And so that they recommend you go with the tours out there and do them. And then he asked, question, if there was a location overseas that you could investigate, do you have a location in mind, a bucket list?
Rebecca, do you have some place that you would like to go to?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'd want to go back to like England or Scotland, and investigate a lot of the areas around there. And yeah, there's a lot of areas that honestly I haven't been overseas that I'd appreciate investigating.
What about you, Carol?
I want to go to. Are they called the Nazca lines or the Inca line? Nazca. I think it's Nazca lines, right?
Yeah, I think it's Noscon.
Yeah, I would love to investigate in that area. I don't know why, but I've always been drawn to that.
I have two. I'd like to go investigate Ireland and then Pavella Island out in Italy, the old insane asylum out there.
Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, that sits out in the middle of the ocean.
That must be amazing out there to do.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You'd have to be there for a while.
Yeah.
There's like so many different places. That's like,
Yeah.
especially like if you go to like Romania, they got some crazy haunted places out there.
Yeah, I would love to go to Vlad the Impaler's castle out there in Romania
Right?
and check that out.
Yeah, I would love to do that one too.
I know Rob's done quite a few of them. Him and I've talked quite a bit about some of the stuff he's done overseas with JHI, and then he did a lot. He did that TV show there for a while, Haunted Australia.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember seeing the GHI shows also.
Hey, Barbara. Barbara says, hi, Russell. Hello, Big Daddy.
Oh,
I feel like it's an Adam Sandler movie. Oh my god.
I'd
That's
like
funny.
to go over to Carol's house and get rid of that thing that's running around in her house.
I had and the house that I grew up in also, I have not been there. So my mom thinks we sold it.
No, I mean
had-
your house.
Yeah, there's this house too, but the house that I grew up in is worse.
Yeah.
There's some really
Well, you
awful
brought
things in that
something
home.
from there over.
Yeah, there's definitely a trickster that comes here
Mm-hmm.
from there. I don't like it. I could feel him around quite
Mhm.
often.
Mhm.
I know Becky's got something in her house too. Oh yeah. You don't hear me?
She heard you.
You got something in your house too, right?
Yeah, a good spirit. I got Tabitha. She likes to cook,
Yeah, I know that.
There
and
you go.
I smell her cinnamon.
You know
What
how I know? You know how I know that? Becky? I was reading you.
Oh,
That's how I know. So
Jeanette
There's a
said
lot of spirits that come through this house.
her,
yeah.
her and have Vlad's Castle on their list.
Yeah.
You're not going without me, Jeanette. If you're going to Vlad the Impaler's castle, you holler at me.
Yeah, we'll go.
Becca said Adam Sandler movie. Which actor, actress would you get to play you, Russell? Would you get Jason Statham?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I get Jason Statham.
Yeah.
I could see him playing Big Daddy in comedy and then martial arts kicking somebody.
What's that place that they want us to come? We have a relative that works there. Has all them ghost stuff and everything. They want us.
Oh, you're a shrine in Tennessee.
Yeah, we got a relatives there.
Yeah, my cousin helps out with the events there at your shrine.
The owner wants us to come there. If they,
Is there something negative there?
Oh, that place
Oh,
is
that
for
place,
everything.
Everything.
Nothing is held at its will. Things are come and go as they please, and this place is full of haunted objects. So you've got demonic stuff, you've got witch stuff.
Everything.
Wow.
Rick is kind of like the caretaker. He's the owner of it, but he calls himself the caretaker of it.
And he said to us, well, if you come here and if you see a demon, you let me know.
Barbara would choose Sean Connery to play Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Carol would get Kathy Bates, maybe Academy Award winner.
But see, that place you can't bring a Ouija board in.
Yeah, he'll let the witches do their thing. He's got a whole thing
Yeah.
set up for witches out there for the
Yeah.
witchcraft and
No.
but he does not let investigators in that don't know what they're doing, that's not experienced, because that place can seriously hurt you.
You imagine me there, I probably see everything's in there. You know?
Yeah.
Even you.
And you do not touch the coconut.
Yeah.
What
What's
if you
with
put
the
the lime in the coconut?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't touch the coconut.
Only him.
Oh.
He drinks a wine out of the coconut.
We
Right?
can't make any coconut drinks.
Apparently the
No.
coconut was used in Haitian voodoo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
very
No thanks.
No thanks.
I don't like any of that dark stuff.
Cool.
yeah, there's all different cultures there. And there's even Japanese culture,
You know,
American, voodoo, witchcraft, demonic, devil. He allows Satan worshippers in there too as well.
we did a case.
Wow.
Come to think of it. We did a case. This guy was doing voodoo and that stuff. Remember?
The one guy was doing demonic
Yeah.
rituals.
Yeah. We did a case.
He was a Satanist.
Oh man, what a job.
And he's allowing more stuff to come in. How nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he reverted back to the way he was. He tried to kill his girlfriend. She dove out of a vehicle at 70 miles an hour to get
Nice
away
guy.
from. She said they were arguing and he turned around and wrapped his hand around her throat and his eyes were as black as coal.
Ugh.
And she managed to break loose and jump out the vehicle.
That's the place you got scratched.
Yeah, that's the place. I
Yeah.
got 3 scratches down my arm.
Mm.
And
That's
that thing,
not good.
yeah, that was
Right? That was a bad case.
that thing was bad.
Oh. And they had 3 bodies buried out in the back.
Yeah, there was some girls in the 90s that went missing on the Trail of Tears down in Oklahoma, and they think that it may be buried back in the woods on that property.
Oh my gosh.
So, but we didn't get to that far, on that. I mean, we're concentrated on the kids.
Because they
Yeah.
had kids in the house. They had a 9-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 19-year-old. And the 19-year-old was shacked up with her boyfriend in the house, and his energy was not good at all either.
No. I had to sit down and talk to them till I was blue in the face. And because they were all wired up and everything, and it was a bad case. But we did it, and now the kids are with the grandmother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids are with the grandmother because I suggest to the grandmother get them kids out of here because he's not gonna follow directions. He's gonna be right back.
That's where we got that bowl.
That's where we got that Buddhist sing bowl and that book on how to kill people and sacrifice them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, when he went to work, his girlfriend, she gave them to me and I confiscated them.
And that's the thing we had in our car.
That almost got us killed in Kansas City.
Oh, on the way home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is now sitting in the Warren's Occult Museum.
Yeah. What a job. That was, I think, one of the worst cases that we did.
Yeah, besides that first one.
Right. But that was bad.
Granzer asked me, will I ever have a Satanist to interview on your channel? I'm open for it.
Yeah. Bring it on.
They probably won't do it because they'll notice right away my light and I work in the light, so they probably won't do it.
Bring it on.
It hurts them. It's easier to be conducting yourself in a lower vibration than it is to raise your vibration to be in the light.
I have my powers right here.
Oh, yes. And that angel that hangs over your shoulder.
Yep.
Granzer asked, does Carol and Rebecca conduct a stream like you do, Russell? Do they conduct interviews too?
I don't have a show of my own, but I do a show on Wednesday night and sometimes on Fridays, co-host another show. And I do investigate. I go with my daughter. My daughter's in her 30s. She's not young, so nobody needs to worry that she's a child. They're doing great.
Yeah. They're doing all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Staying out of trouble.
Of course. They know better.
You guys need to do your own show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Just got to find the time now.
You know, it's well, you have to make time. You know?
Yep.
You know?
Yeah, look at me, I do. How busy I am.
I know, you've been really busy.
I know some channels won't touch some topics. I think Brent Thomas of Paranormal Portal won't touch the cults genre. Yeah, I know.
Won't let people talk about that?
Some don't. I mean, I've seen them on TikTok. There's a guy on TikTok, Father Venator, who's a Satanist, and he actually dresses as a priest. And I've seen a group interview him on a podcast.
Yeah, no thanks. I don't like the way my body feels when I come in contact with anybody that even has, an attachment.
Right.
So
I usually will see it all around them or on them, and I could tell when they got an attachment. I could feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so can I.
Yeah, some of them good, some of them bad.
Yeah, you can definitely tell the bad ones.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And some people don't listen when you tell them.
No.
Nope. They don't listen. They want to keep following that road, and that road's going to catch up to them. It comes to an end sometime.
It's either that or they'll try to turn it around on you.
Oh, yeah.
I always tell everybody, you make the deal with the devil's going to come collect his dues eventually.
Wow, I was just going to say the same thing.
Well, it's the same thing with a Ouija board.
You play with fire, you get burnt.
You
Yeah, I don't
open
touch them. I did
you
it
open
once.
that door. You open that door, Carol.
Once was more
Nightmares
than enough
happen.
for me.
Yep. And people don't know how to close them out, and they just feel it's a game.
Yep.
It's not a game.
It's not.
Right.
And you get them nightmares, you're gonna know difference because they think oh, I could just throw it away. We had a little kid, remember that at that hotel. He brought a Ouija board in there.
Oh yeah. He little wannabe urban explorer broke into this abandoned hotel with a bunch of his buddies, and they started vandalizing the place. Well, somebody seen them go in there and called the cops. The cops come. He's the only one that hid that the cops didn't find. And the other kids got nailed for it. Well, we were there. We were going to do an investigation that night, and we were there working on the roof of the place for the owner. And we're standing on the sidewalk, and I'm talking to the owner, and this kid just kept pacing back and forth past us, and he kept looking at us. And the owner goes, "That's a little strange." I said, "How much you want to bet that's one of the kids that broke in here that didn't get caught?" And finally, the kid got the courage enough to come by, and he says, "Which one are you the owners?" And the lady goes, "I am." He goes, "Well, I'm one of the kids that broke in here." And right away, she goes, "You little shit." And he's like, "I just want to apologize." And he says, "I brought a Ouija board in here." And I said, "You did what?" She says, "These guys are getting ready to do an investigation in here tonight."
Mhm.
And I said to that kid, I said, "You come with me." I took him into that hotel and I showed him the beams that were falling down. He's telling his mom that he's at a buddy's house and he's only 11 years old. And
Starting a bit young, huh?
I said to him, I said, "You see these beams in here? You come in here, you're telling somebody you're at a friend's house, you break in here, one of them beams fall on you, you're going to lay in here maybe weeks, months on end, because she doesn't get down in here all the time. You're going to lay in here dead. Nobody's going to know where you're at."
Right.
So he didn't know I could read him right. So he comes up to me and I go, "Oh, you're the one that destroyed the wall right there." He goes, "How'd you know?" I says, "Because I know." And then he comes out and he goes, I said, "Did you bring that Ouija board back?" I said, "I want you to go get that Ouija board."
Yeah, we told him we want it.
So he brought it home and he says, "Well, I threw it away." And next moment it was on my doorstep. And I says, "Really?" So I says, "Well," I said, "You get that and you bring it to us." He come down the street, right? And well, guess who was behind him? His mother. With a
Wow.
car.
Yep.
And he runs up and he goes, "Hey, Ma, he can read me. He read me." This that kid goes, "Read my mother." I says, "Okay, I'll read her. You know what she's thinking right now?" He goes, "What?" "And she's gonna beat your ass when you get home."
Yeah. We told his mother he
Yeah.
broke in this place and he's been coming in here several times. And I took his mom in there and I showed her, I said, "You see all this? This is about ready to fall down."
So dangerous.
And he went down in the basement, and the basement down there had a flood. And I mean, there's a pit down there that's probably about this deep, and it's filled to the top with water. And I mean, there's so much stuff down in that basement, you couldn't walk down there, you'd trip.
So his mother came over and said to me, I'll never forget it. She goes, wow, you can read. I says, yeah. But I said, don't beat his butt. You know, just take him home,
Ground them.
let him mow the lawn.
Yep. Put him to work. I say he don't need to be urban exploring. And
Yeah,
Not
he's
at that
good.
age.
I saw one of his TikTok videos. He was checking out another abandoned place in town.
Hi.
Well, with the next day, he come walking by and he gives my son a hug and gives me a hug and he says, thank you. He says, I'll never go in these places again. I says, you're lucky because guess what? They caught the other kids.
Yeah. So the other kids are in trouble.
I said, you're very lucky.
Even though they're young, they can't do anything with them as an adult, but they had to come back and work.
So
Good.
he comes out and he says to me, name the kids who were in here with me. And I named them. And his jaw dropped. He goes, oh, man.
Yeah, they took fire extinguishers and sprayed them all over the place. They were putting holes in the walls and
Oh, they destroyed that place. And so one night we stayed there overnight.
yep.
And
Rest of the team, they decided they want to go to a fancy hotel, and we're like, we're not going to spend the money on that. We'll just stay right here in this haunted location.
so we had a bunch of raccoons in there.
Oh
Right.
no.
Yeah, they were running around.
Yeah, they were racing around.
They're so cute.
We had some snacks. I was throwing them out to the raccoons.
So
Raccoons are really cute.
the generator went out. It ran out of gas. Our cameras went down. And so I'm sleeping on the chair and he's sleeping on the couch. And I said, hey, wake up. He goes, what? I said, let's go by the door. And big old guy standing there with a hat on.
Yeah, big O's. He was probably about over 6 foot tall.
Yeah.
Big old burly black shadow figure.
At that
In
location?
by us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
In by us.
Well, I think he was the owner because the generator kicked off, so everything went out. We had a light on in there, and camera's still running. And the generator kicked off at 3 o'clock in the morning, so I think he was just checking on us to make sure we were all right.
uh-huh.
And that's the time that we walked in the hotel and the owner was in there. And they were all standing around. And I seen a bell there on a chair. And I sit down and I rung the bell. And next moment, wow, look at that. Look at that light around him. A big old light. It lit right up. They couldn't believe it, huh?
Granzer's got to run. Let's answer his question
All right.
first. What do you think why doing these things excites us? And I mean the novice, newcomers, or the first-time thrill seekers. Well, a lot of it is your YouTubers. People see your YouTubers doing it, people like Zach Baggins, and they think it's a game, that it's fun, so they go out and do it.
Until they, realize it's a lot more than that. Yep.
Yep. And then
Well, it's not like an episode, that's for sure, because you
No.
can sit for hours and not get anything for a while.
and
Or sometimes you can get evidence right off the bat,
I mean, you're going into these abandoned buildings, you don't know what's in there.
right?
Some homeless person could have taken shelter in there, and you're going in there and he thinks you're the cops or somebody that's going to run him out of there. He's going to get on the attack, and you can get
Mhm.
yourself hurt or killed.
Yeah.
Right.
Not to mention the asbestos that's in these old buildings, mold
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And I mean, I was watching one video. There was a YouTuber that went in this abandoned building, and there was a homeless guy in there. And The homeless guy went running straight across, and he caught it, and he took off.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know how these.
All right,
Oh.
Granzer, thanks for coming in tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, Reverend Wolf, welcome in. Says, hey all, how's everybody doing? Hope you're all safe and well.
Never investigate alone, that's for sure.
Exactly. You always have a buddy system.
Yeah.
I mean, I've investigated solo, but we have DVR cameras running, and I stay in camera sight the whole time, so he's watching me the whole time.
Right.
Yep, intention is everything.
Mhm.
Sure is.
But I mean, these people that urban explore and go into these buildings, I have no idea what's in them. I mean, like that one golf course I worked at, the abandoned hotel, we used to kick kids out of there constantly that were urban exploring.
It's so dangerous.
You
Right.
got up on the 16th floor up there. There's one part of the hallway. It's just a big black hole.
Yeah,
We took a
and it's
spotlight and shined it down there to make sure there was nobody laying down at the bottom dead.
Uh-huh.
It drops clear to the basement.
Oh no.
You know what?
And if
I
they're
like to
fooling
do?
around and running around in the dark, they can't see
Yep.
that hole in the floor.
You know
Right.
what I like. You know what I like to do, Carol?
What?
Sophia, is instead of going in these hotels and stuff, you know, I like to be in somebody's home and helping child.
That's right.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, Reverend Wolf says, I'm so glad to hear your opinion about this because it drives me crazy. I've been a paranormal researcher and investigator for the last 35 years, and I've seen this modern trend of thrill seekers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they have no clue what they're doing, and somebody's going to get killed.
Yep.
And not to mention with the, like I said, the asbestos and the mold, the black mold in these buildings, and you're bringing that home to your house. And if you got a family at home, you're contaminating your whole family full of it.
Okay, we're going to tell you something. We know a friend of ours. He was a ghost hunter. He used to go in these bandit houses. And guess what? Today, he ain't with us anymore because he had cancer. He got cancer
Oh.
from asbestos
Yep.
and being in them, you know, places like that.
Like when we did that hotel, we didn't even investigate the back part of the kitchen.
No.
We set a camera in the doorway just overlooking it, and we never even went back there because of how moldy, and there was a bunch of black mold back there upstairs on the second floor.
And I
Towards the back hallway
yeah.
was all black mold. We avoided that whole area.
Black spores are nothing to fun. It's not a game to play around
No.
with. When that gets into the air,
Yep.
it's really
Yep.
dangerous what it could do to your lungs.
And when I was in that room, like I said, it was like I was in an ice box, you know, in a freezer. But I said to myself, I told my son, never again,
Yep.
never, because it ain't worth it.
No.
For
No.
what? To have a,
But they're going because they see all these videos. They think it's something fun.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
see
And they're
these
not even
people.
putting protections on.
No, they see these people going in, doing it on YouTube and TikTok, and thinks, oh, I can do that too, and not realizing the potential dangers that are behind it.
Right. It could
Yeah.
be potential dangers from humans that are there or spirits
all
that
right.
they don't
like
know
that-
how to deal with.
That
Yeah.
hotel where I worked at the golf course, the one maintenance building, there was a homeless guy living in there.
Yeah.
Oh,
We
no.
went in there. We found his whole setup. He had the little dollar store candles, and he had a baseball bat sitting up against the table.
He had a barrel in there. He used to burn.
Yep. He had a burning barrel in there.
Yeah.
And lucky he wasn't in there when we went in there. There was one day my boss and I went in there and we heard him take off.
Oh,
And
That's how he cooked.
I grabbed his baseball bat and I confiscated it because I was afraid if him and I went in there, we'd catch a baseball bat to the back of the head.
yeah, you never know what could happen.
Because we were in charge of patrolling the inside of that hotel too. And with us working there, we knew all the danger areas and stuff like that.
You know, Carol, when we do a
Bulls
house,
rush in where angels
Yeah.
fear to tread.
yeah,
Yep, very true.
when we do a house and he uses sage, I can't be in there because of my lungs.
Right.
You see, I got bad asthma. So I can't be in there. But I see the things when they leave the house, when they chase them out.
Right.
Hey,
I mean, it's one thing if you're going to urban explore, get permission.
yeah,
Like you see that YouTuber Big Banks, he does a lot of that urban explorers and does these mansions and stuff like that that have been abandoned, but he has permission because a lot of them he's showing for real estate too. For people. And if you're gonna do that urban explorer, and they give you permission, have the cops go through there first and clear it.
what's that place there?
And
that
then you
we-
also need to know how to protect yourself from
Yep.
anything that's
Respirators,
negative.
Yeah,
mold respirators, and
Yeah.
look at that place there. With
it's the same for something simple like metal detecting. You can
Yeah.
easily cross up onto somebody's private property, or you could easily dig up. Yep, exactly. We actually got a call for a cemetery on the Missouri-Kansas line that the guy bought the property next to the cemetery and thought the property line went over into the cemetery, and he plowed up a bunch of stones.
Oh no.
And they want us to come out and check and see if it kicked up any paranormal activity in the cemetery.
what about that place there? Where we went there and we
Yeah.
found the well,
Hans Mill.
Hans Mill. Okay, there was a place that everybody used to
Not
go
just
there.
things you can't see like the ghost. There are physical dangers.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
And we used to go there and ghost hunt, everybody. But then the kids started coming down there drinking and throwing this and that. And now
No good.
the cops are down, remember?
Yep. They would bring their trucks down there and rip it up, and they
Yeah.
camp down there. They'd bring Ouija boards down in that place because they knew it was haunted. And finally, the cops had enough of it. The cops would patrol it at night. We've been down there and had cops come down there when we were down there, but they know who I am. And he was like, "You guys are fine." He says, "I'm trying to catch them kids on the four-wheelers." And now they actually put up a whole big fence so you can't drive out there anymore.
That's what happened in Centralia too, on Graffiti Highway. During COVID, everything was shut down. People started going out there with their dirt bikes and
Mhm.
four-wheel drives and stuff, and fooling around on that highway when there was like sinkholes literally forming because of the burning underneath the ground. So the owner of it actually dumped piles of sand and dirt
Mhm.
Mhm.
the whole length of the road to
That's
stop
just
it from
like-
happening. It did stop it, but
Yeah. It's just like cemeteries.
Yep.
We went to one, and mostly every stone was tipped over.
There's
That's
one
sad.
here in
Yeah, that's awful.
St. Joe, Missouri called Felix Grave.
uh,
I was out in there one night, and it's in a conservation area, and they had knocked every stone over. There was beer bottles everywhere. There was used condoms thrown everywhere.
Now they got a gate that go across.
uh,
Cops.
And conservation comes out there
Yeah.
at night and catches the partiers. Reverend said, we used to occasionally run into squatters and hobos when we did an investigation of Waverly Hills before they turned it into accommodation.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, until dirt becomes a ramp for that, where they.
Yeah.
Oh no, there's so much dirt. There's no way they could turn that into ramps.
I'm
It would
sitting
turn
here
into like
contributing
moguls.
Huh?
It would look like
conversation.
moguls when you would go skiing. That's how much
Right.
dirt there is. There's way too much dirt.
Yeah.
Reverend said, I'm sitting here contributing to the conversation, but I'd love to hear more about you guys.
Oh, really? Thank you. But yeah. But the point is that people, they ruined it for the good people. They try to do right.
We called about
It's crazy.
there's an old poor farm up here in Macon, Missouri, and I called. The city owns it, and the guy says, I would let you guys in there, being you guys are asking for permission, but the city advises we can't let anybody in there because the kids broke in and vandalized it. And now that's a piece of history that they went in there and destroyed.
Right.
And now they just ruined it for everybody else that is asking permission. He says, I appreciate you guys actually asking permission. It's called spoilers.
Yep.
Yep.
And
And
it seems like it happens with everything and anything that there is out there. There's the ones that think that they have the right to do whatever they want
yep.
and make a mess and destroy things, and then makes it bad for everybody else.
I mean, like Grossinger's, that resort I work, I lost count on how many people we have kicked out of there, and
Well,
they would hide and they'd see us coming and they would hide, figuring we'd pass on by. But they didn't realize there was one of our other workers out there working, and here we come. We're sneaking through the hotel and catching them.
It could be very dangerous, though. Anybody could get hurt. And
Oh yeah, I mean the
becomes a
elevator
bigger
shafts
problem.
were open, so anybody
Wow.
could fall down those elevator shafts.
Yeah.
I've done a lot of study on the spirit realm, not just watching YouTube videos. I read the old books before the internet was invented. Have you ever wondered what to do with the information you get? So Reverend kind of started like I did too. I started even before the internet.
Yeah.
Reading books and then stuff like that.
Well, that's what usually happens with people, that anybody that has any kind of gifts, or whatever you want to call them, and
Yep.
things happen, and then you start questioning it.
Yep.
So you got to look for well, back then you had to look for your own answers because there was nothing on the internet.
No.
There was no internet.
No.
I can't believe how stuffy I'm getting all of a sudden. I feel like I'm catching a cold or something.
You got an allergy?
Reverend said it
Yeah, I
started
have bad
after I
allergies.
died at the age of 4 from high voltage electrocution, and from that point on, the paranormal became part of my life. Yeah, it was your calling. That's why you were brought back.
Yep.
Like I said, use it.
Yep, and he does. He's been doing it 35 years, so
That's good. That's good.
He's a few years ahead of me, but
Yeah.
not by much. I'll be hitting my 32nd year this year.
Well,
So I've been doing it a long time.
I had to wait for my kids to grow up. I didn't want anything happening, with them in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Started at the age of 13. So
I started seeing stuff very young. And I was told I was crazy. That's not there.
yeah, I had to hide mine through school. And the one school, Delaware Valley, I went to was haunted, and I could see stuff. Pure Love Essence says take local honey if not allergic and boil some water with eucalyptus. That will help.
Yeah, I'm gonna. As soon as we get off the show, I'm gonna take some stuff. I love drinking
I
different teas
use
too.
I use Mucinex spray up my nose or Zicam, and it works really good. And sometimes like I'll take like NyQuil before bed, and it will allow me to sleep, but it will solve like the nasal or the sinus issues.
You know what's good for that? Take some hot peppers and put them on your sandwich with a piece of meat and eat them. It'll clear your sinus like that.
Oh yeah.
Crazy part is when you die, your conscience, you're aware,
Yep.
and you have no body. And crazy is still you can look down and see your body. And 40 years, I've always wondered, am I the wrong spirit? I haven't felt like I belonged here since I came back to life.
It's scary, believe me. But then you get used to it.
They say tequila is an anti-parasitic, quick swigger that should kill off any bugs. That's probably why the Americans call it tequila
Right?
instead of tequila.
Watch out for that worm.
Yeah. The worm in the bottom of the bottle.
We got a fly around here. It's bugging the heck out of me.
I've been having allergies all winter this year. I don't know what it is. I've never had this before.
We hit pretty much our 80-degree weather, and our neighbors got the cows that border right up against the back of my property. So,
and that's when you get flies.
I was out there trimming some tree limbs back there, and the cows were all up at the fence at me today, wondering what I'm doing. And then as soon as I grabbed one of them sticks, them cows took off running. I don't know if they thought I was going to whack them with it or what.
Oh, boy.
Reverend said the worm is the best. They say it's supposed to make you have visions when you eat the worm.
I've never drank in the worm.
I'd be okay without that.
Nope.
I'll have a trolley sour worm, but that's about it.
Well,
Give people a little beer cup.
I never drank, so.
No, you eat the sour worms.
Sour worms?
I think, as far as like we're talking about the internet and things like that, I think that the paranormal, it finds us in our own way, especially those of us with gifts, and we end up figuring out why.
Yeah.
And that's all part of the plan in some ways, I believe, the divine plan.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, at 12, I died. I never thought I'd be doing the paranormal stuff.
My son got me into it.
Yep.
Because I used to pick on my wife.
Yep.
Well, usually when me and my daughters go anywhere together, the energy is very crazy on the stuff that we pick up together. Although my oldest daughter is more afraid of it, so I don't really like her to go because of the fear. But my youngest daughter, she loves it.
I told Carol when we go to investigate.
What was that?
I told Carol when we go to investigate this summer, we're gonna go to that beach area.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go with Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be fun.
She moved into a home recently, and well, she's been there about a little over a year, almost 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her there's a spirit here of a woman. She didn't believe me, but there definitely was. We found the article. She had been at work in Jersey City, and she went to go across the street to go pick up a picture frame and she got hit by a train and
Oh,
decapitated.
wow.
Ooh,
And so she was a single mom. Her daughter went to go live with her sister. And
This one's for you, Carol.
yes, I have many spirits here, and also in the house that I grew up in.
well,
I
Yeah,
spirits
some
come in
Carol's got
constantly.
spirits in the house.
There's
oh,
one
she,
that doesn't like my privacy with my bathroom. Um, there's so many crazy things that go on in this house, but nothing. I don't have really anything negative here.
no, you don't.
No.
But you got one person there who loves to pick on you.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
I honestly believe it's that spirit that's from the house that I grew up in, the trickster.
Mm-hmm.
He used to
He's-
scare me all the time when I was little. He would run around with a sheet over the top of him.
Mm-hmm.
He said he only asked because of the immediate onset of your sinuses.
It just cleared up again. Like literally opened back up again. I could breathe again. Yeah, I'm constantly affected by stuff here. I have an elemental in the backyard. He's pretty cool though. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sent a spirit here that I told that spirit that if he was going to continue to be nasty, he had to leave.
How about
And,
you, Becky?
huh?
Becky, how about you? You got a lot of stuff going on in your house, right?
Well, there's things that come in and in and go. I wouldn't say that there's lots. I feel like a lot of them just come and pass. And Tabitha hangs around, and I feel like she's very protective of me, and I feel like she's been helping me a lot on my path.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You got a certain one that aggravates you?
Not really.
No,
I
kind of.
mean, there's always going to be negative spirits that are going to do that to us with abilities because they want to test us.
Right.
But I don't feel like when that happens, I tell myself, I'm like, nah, that's not going to work. Not going to happen. like, don't believe in it,
Yeah. Well, when you know you got one that wants to play around when they pull the covers off you.
I feel like that there's always more and more coming through, but I feel like they're coming through because when they realize that you have the light and they
Mhm.
realize that you could help, that's when they start coming through more.
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I think also because I've grown a lot, they're like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
can she help?
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize either we have spirits around us all the time, everywhere we go.
Yep.
You even have them in your car,
Your car, grocery store.
everywhere.
The ones that are really funny are the ones that are in bars. Like they literally, try to jump in so that they can drink with the person that's drinking there.
Yep.
Pretty
Speaking
funny
of
to see
bar,
that.
speaking of bar, we were supposed to do a bar. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And this one was wanted to join us. She was sitting in the bar, and she was looking for somebody on a motorcycle. She liked motorcycles. Well, so I said to her, it says she comes out and says, "Oh, the owner wants you guys to do this bar because her thing's running around." And she's sitting at the bar having a drink, right? So I said to her, I says, "What? You see a pink elephant on a motorcycle running down the bar?"
Well, there was a room that had been sealed up
Yeah.
too, and it's never been opened, and they were going to let us open it up. But then it ended up falling through, and they ended up selling the place. They went bankrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Well, the owner was drinking all his stock.
Wow.
Do the ghosts say, I'm here for all the booze or what?
I don't know. Must be.
And she was part of our team. And boy, she came to a Paragon. We haven't seen her in a long time.
Yeah, it was a few years.
Oh, she was skinny.
Well,
She what?
she left the team because she picked up an attachment,
Attachment.
and I wasn't letting her, with us doing residential, leaving it in somebody's house.
An
So
attachment did her in,
yeah, health wise.
health wise.
Well, there was that
No,
you
that's
know,
good.
when we went down the shore 2 summers ago, there was something in that house
Mm-hmm.
that, oh my gosh, it was antagonizing me. I kept smelling sulfur. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't go up on the second floor. I was literally sick the whole week in that house. I couldn't wait to get home. I wish I had driven, otherwise I would have just taken my car and gone.
Right.
But
And
my daughter had
yeah,
drove, and we
yeah,
were with family, so I stayed, but I was so sick that whole week.
right. Oh,
It was
she can't. Yeah, go ahead, Carol.
it was a nightmare,
Yeah.
when you're with something that's not your body's not jiving with or feeling well around,
Mm-hmm.
they could literally make you sick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, she came to the Paracon and she come over there and sit by me. And I looked at her and right away it was like she got up like she didn't even know me. And I said, wow. And my son, where was you? You went somewhere and then you came back and you seen her. And boy, I'll tell you, her wrist was that big around. And
I think I was over with KD.
yeah, and she was skinny. She looked like like a grandmother would look.
Wow.
You know, in your
Yeah, it's like
in your 90s.
she aged quite a bit.
Wow.
I can't believe it. And this is what happened when she had that
An attachment.
attachment. And we tried to tell her that. And she said to us, well, I got to leave the team because I got attachment on me. And we knew it. God, we seen it. And
I've got a video in somebody's house on the DVR camera where her face just changed.
And, that's why I say to these people, and I'll say it over and over, it's not a game because it can hurt you always. Mental, you could be
That's right.
sick to your stomach. It can do everything to you.
Yeah.
And
that's really scary when these kids see all these things on like YouTube and Facebook or
Yeah.
Twitter.
Yeah.
They think that it's a game to do, but it's not. You
No,
need to know
it's
how to
not.
protect yourself before you go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And people get on TV, and especially the kids, and they start watching these scary stuff, and okay, fine, you can watch it, but if you stay up real late, you got to go to school the next day. Here you are, you're drained
Mm-hmm.
going to school because you
Yeah.
watch something, and then after a while, this burns in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got to watch this.
Pure Love Essence had a question. It's a good one. How do you remove an attachment?
Okay, who'll answer that one?
Well, if it's a demonic attachment,
Yeah.
a lot of religious stuff, that's the only way you're going to get rid of that thing, and you got to repent to get rid of that.
Prayers.
It's whatever your faith is.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if you're Catholic, get to the church.
Now, if it's a regular spirit, by doing a cleansing on yourself, whether it be sage cleansing, salt bath,
Holy water.
Whatever, that's
Mhm.
another good way to get rid of it.
Yep.
Reading some comments here. Reverend Reverend's got some pretty good comments and a lot of knowledge too.
Yeah.
Ethyl and ethanol can maintain electrical charges and frequencies for years at a time.
He's a smart man.
Yeah.
He's a smart man.
I've been doing a lot of work with different sound frequencies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a smart man. And, you know, if people would have the analogy like he has, you know, they'd be great in this field. But people, you know, they think you know, okay, you put a makeup on, a clown costume, right? Okay, you think you're a clown, right? Then see if you're, you know, a ghost hunter with a clown costume on. You know where I'm coming at, right?
Good.
Okay.
Well, it's just like John Zaffis said. Now it's not about the research and the work anymore. It's all about the popularity.
Right. To make yourself famous.
The money.
Yep.
It shouldn't be.
When it should
I
be
didn't
about
look at it that way at all.
research.
We're not about the money. We're not about the fame.
We're about the research and the work.
Research. We just got a phone call tonight. My son did. We got to go out and help. How many kids?
4 kids.
4 kids.
So.
Okay. And we spoke to the people, you know, and I said, we'll be there. We'll be there.
For us, the kids get bumped up on the top of the list. We'll drop everything to go help a family with kids.
And we promised them, we gave our word that they'll be fine once we leave there. And I'm going to give them each a medal. It's been blessed. Every one of them in the house.
Yeah.
No.
And, you know, it makes us happy, you know, that we did something good for somebody. And we don't leave them hanging, do we?
Nope.
We check up on them. And if they come out and go, oh, wow, you did good. And the kids come up and they grab your hand, give you a hug. Oh, man, it's right here in the heart.
Yeah.
You know? And that's the way we look at things.
Reverend's right. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. However,
transference is possible.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, the other comment that he said was about Nikola Tesla and the principles of that revolve around frequency and vibration.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go from theta to beta and gamma. And the higher your vibration is, the better.
And this man right here does.
The better you are. I don't think the dark things see you as much.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He does a lot of reading. That's good.
Yeah.
Pure Love says, yes, it's a spiritual calling and sacred work. It sure is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why we do what we do. We love helping people and helping families and seeing the smiles on their face that they got their life back and their house back. I mean, being terrorized by something for years, months.
Yep.
You know,
have you guys seen the camera that photographs auras?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen one of them.
I've heard about that. I haven't seen it though.
I seen one. Somebody had one at a Paracon. They were doing it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We went to a Catholic church, and we said about ghost hunting.
Yep.
You know what the priest said to us? We don't like ghosts.
He said there's no such thing as ghosts. They're all demonic.
We deal in demons. That came from a priest.
That's the newer Catholic religion now.
Yeah.
The old Catholic still believes in ghosts and
but they get a lot of cases.
The Roman Catholics still believe in ghosts as well too.
And one priest, that one year we went before we did the demon,
Mm-hmm.
he said to me and my son, he goes, "You guys are you go at the demon stuff." He goes, "Keep it up."
Yeah.
Yeah, and we didn't even tell him.
We never told him.
He knew it.
He knew. And you know what he said to me? His exact words. And I'll swear on this. He goes, "You died and came back. And I feel it." He says, "You're doing God's work. Keep it up." Exact words, didn't he? And he said to my son, same thing.
Yep. Reverend said the Holy Spirit is a ghost. People forget that when Jesus was baptized, the Holy Spirit descended from the heavens and it rested on Jesus in the apparition of a glowing warm light.
Yep.
And the Jews tried to cast out demons after seeing the disciples do it. Yeah, I remember the rabbis trying to cast out demons and doing exorcisms and
Okay, now he just said that, right? About the demons, right? And about a light, didn't he?
yep. That descended in an apparition of warm light around Jesus.
And what I have, Carol, a light,
Oh yeah.
an angel. You
Yep.
see what I'm talking about? So, I know where I'm going, when I leave this world, right up there.
Yeah.
And
that's like Father Bob Bailey says, Ferris says, Bishop Rita Stragla said,
yeah,
anybody that battles the demonic, the devil has your wanted poster in hell.
but see, the good Lord, it'll fight that from going there. See? But, the good Lord is, now, I played that song for you, right?
Yes.
Remember that song?
Yep.
And beautiful song. And every word that come out of that person that sings that song, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Now, you know what they're doing? They're playing that song in a Catholic church.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Reverend said, and once you start the fights keep coming. You're scripted into the spiritual war that doesn't rest. Exactly.
Yeah.
That is 100% true. It never rests.
Once
And
you see it and they
Yep.
see that you've seen them,
Yep.
they
Yep.
never leave.
It's in that song says about a child. Good Lord listens to the prayer from a child. It's the truth. First words that come out of a child is prayers. When they go to bed, they say their prayers. You see?
I mean, that's like you got these YouTubers running around, demon this, demon that.
Yeah. It's
I
crazy.
was chased by a demon out of this house.
If they
They
ever
would-
saw something that was that negative, they would be running for their lives.
Yeah,
You got it.
exactly.
You
They
got it.
wouldn't know what to do.
No.
Mhm.
And I'm going to tell you something, Carol. It took a lot of years of me and my son. And we seen stuff, believe me, it'll make a belly go puke.
Oh yeah.
But I'll tell you something. We're not bragging. But the point is that doing is doing. Not doing is no good.
Right.
And like this man here, he could be a minister,
He knows his stuff.
you see. And every word that he comes out with, we know the words
Yep.
because we deal with it.
And
Yeah.
Ferris says the exact same stuff he's saying right now. And
Farrah's saying it. And Farrah, and she's got a heart of gold, that woman. And every time we have a case that's hard, and we'll say, Carol, we got this case. She'll say a prayer for us, and she'll go, oh, you guys got it. If you need me,
I'm on standby.
that's it.
But she says you can handle it.
Yeah, that's nice that you have that backup, you know?
And that's pretty good too, that the diocese office puts their trust into us to handle stuff like that.
And
Right.
she sent my son, recently.
Oh, she just sent me some more St. Michael stuff, and
Yeah,
I now have a St. Michael the Archangel leather bracelet.
sent us
cool.
medals, everything.
Yep, they're all blessed. And
You're all blessed.
she sent me a similar crucifix like my dad's.
Yeah.
Oh,
And she's happy. She says, oh, you went to Catholic Church before you did this. And she knew it. And I'll tell you something else. Wade,
Yeah.
seen this whole thing, what I did. It's the truth
Uh-huh.
to this demon. A whole thing. He's seen it.
Wade never even watched the video. He remote viewed and saw it.
Yeah. So, but I'm proud of it because we got rid of it. Nobody got hurt.
Right.
You know,
We were able to help a location
right. To keep her business.
to keep their business going, keeping their tour guides there. And
So, but you know,
Grant, Reverend said, I really think you guys are amazing, and I genuinely mean that. Authenticity is so rare to come by. Appreciate that, Reverend.
we appreciate that. We
Thank
really
you.
do it from the heart.
That's nice.
Pure Love Essence says, it's good to have a prayer warrior on hand whenever life calling. Yeah, and we always, every time we go out, there's always a prayer chain for us if we're going out to deal with something like that.
And our medals are blessed every time from a Catholic church.
Yeah, anytime we're at a location and we got our medals in there, we go back to the church after we're done and have them blessed again.
That's good.
So, and that's why I said always to you, Carol and Beckett, always have something under protection. Because what you people do, you know, like I said, you're talking to people out there
Yeah, you're doing that Estes that you have no idea
who it is,
who's coming through. And
you know. And that's why I said about Craig. I'm afraid of him. You know what's going to happen.
mm-hmm.
Reverend says, like I said, intention is everything, and you have the right intention behind it. People don't realize the spirit realm has a fine line. That's where I stand.
And I'll say
That's where I stand as well.
Yeah. And I'll
That
say
line
it
is
again.
very fine in between
Yep.
the light and the dark.
Carol, if they come out and hate me and my son, we're doing something right.
Uh-huh. That's exactly
Well, that's
right.
because they're living in the dark and we're living in the light.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I had my wife up on a mantle, okay? And she got cremated. I got 2 spots. One, she's in one, I'll be in the other.
Uh-huh.
The rest is up my son. Well, I look at it this way, you know. I look up at my wife and I say my prayers. I got her picture on the wall. And I go like this. Good night, hon.
Uh-huh.
See, and I look at it this way, you know. I lost my mother. I lost my wife. I lost my son in Oklahoma. You know, I have another son that's crippled like this from an accident. But see, you know, my prayers are for all of them. And my prayers are for the ones that have cancer. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. My worst enemy.
Yeah.
and I don't have any, but I don't wish it because me and my son, we've been through it with my wife and his mother. You know,
Yeah, I saw it take the way it took my grandmother, and that was horrible watching that.
Yep.
Mhm.
but see, you know, people don't understand this, and well, when they're young and they get out there and they hop in a car, steal it, whatever,
Yep.
break the law, you know.
Mhm.
Trevor said, the way I see it, if they leave us alone, I got no business investigating it.
Right.
And when they start crossing the line on innocent people, we are warranted to investigate and potentially eliminate. Exactly. God's protection only covers you when you're doing His way. We don't go looking for fights as spiritual warriors. We defend those who are opposed by them. Exactly. Pure Love says there was a time people used to pray and bless everything they do and had used to gather together and bless and protect their land and everything they had. Yep.
Yeah.
Still do.
Hey, Greg. He says, sorry I'm late. Where's my invite? I was out for my grandson's birthday. Just got on. You guys look good tonight. Love and hugs.
Hi, Greg. Yeah, no, I pray, and I'm grateful for every day that I'm here.
Yep. Me
There's
too.
so many blessings that I can't even count them.
We're going to get ready to wrap up here because 5 o'clock in the morning comes early for me.
Yes, it sure does.
And Reverend said there's an interesting, if StreamYard will work right,
Mhm.
there's an interesting experiment everybody's doing with rice, which shows the insane thing words have power. So they speak positive to one jar of rice, negative to the other.
I
You
have
could
a
do
hard
that with
time not
water
eating it.
also.
Right?
Mhm.
I probably want to add a
I-
little chicken, maybe some adobo,
Yeah, there you go.
some
Mhm.
Monterey.
You could do that with a glass of water also.
Yeah, I've heard that with water too, that
Uh-huh.
experiment.
You
What?
could do it with a plant, but I wouldn't do it with a plant because then one might not work so well.
And after a period of time, the degradation
Depends on who has the green thumb.
as always worse than the positive jar.
I'll tell you something.
Yeah.
You know the Indians, okay? Because we have Indian in ours. My mother was full blood. Well, they knew what to eat, plants. It kept them healthy,
Right.
Mm.
and they go out, they deer hunt, and they season they didn't have salt back then, but they had they make their own seasoning.
Right.
You
Many different herbs to use, that's for
you
sure.
got it. You got it.
They used to
Yeah.
go to the salt flats and get their salt and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Mm.
And like, okay, we were at a house. This woman had a crystal. It was out in the yard.
No, you're good, Reverend Wolf.
So I said, that'll light up your house. No way. Right? So when the sun hits that crystal, okay,
Uh-huh.
you bring it inside, it'll light up your house.
Yep. It draws the energy from the sun into it and it holds it.
And you know where
Yeah.
I learned that? On the reservation in Oklahoma.
Uh-huh. Well, that's what they use in watches also, quartz
Yep.
Yeah.
crystals.
And they had to look it up. They didn't believe it. They had to look it up, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And they brought it in. It lit up their house.
Well, Barbara definitely knows
That's
a lot
quite a
about
background.
crystals. She's got a lot of crystals, that's for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of crystals, that ball that you had on the other
Oh,
night.
Victoria Mundane. She does that crystal ball.
Did
Uh-huh.
you tell her I seen your daughter in that
I
ball?
forgot again. I gotta write it down.
You
Remember
write
to
it
tell her.
down. She's
By the
gonna be
time we
shocked.
finish the show, everybody pretty much hits the road, and I didn't get a chance.
She's gonna be shocked.
Have a good
Yeah.
night, Jeanette.
You know.
Good
Good
night.
night, Jeanette.
We're getting ready to wrap
Yeah,
up
we're gonna
too.
wrap up.
'Cause I gotta get to bed so I can get up early.
Yeah.
I mean, here's one guy. It's hard to wake up.
Yeah, no bombs or tornadoes will wake him up, huh?
But I do hear the alarm when it goes off.
yeah,
That's good. That's good.
after a while.
No, that's why I got it stretched across there, so I have to get out of bed to shut it off.
I don't set the alarm. I just wake up. I don't know how that happens. I wake up so easy.
I'll go in by his door and go, when alarm goes, tornado, tornado.
Andy says, "Good show."
The only
Good
time
night,
I do it
everybody.
is for work, if I have to set the
Yeah.
alarm. But most of the
Yeah.
time, like if I'm not, I'll wake up.
Yeah.
Been
And other
awesome
times
chatting
I
with
could
you
fall
guys.
asleep on the phone with people.
Oh yeah, we've experienced that.
Yep. The one day we were talking, I sat down and literally like 2 minutes later, I was sound asleep.
I was like, Carol,
I'll sit in my chair and I'll put a good movie on. And next one, I wake up. Oh, wow, I missed almost the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
I've done that many times.
Oh,
Well, we're gonna go ahead and wrap
Yeah.
up, and
Okay. Was good to
Thank-
see everybody.
thanks
Yeah.
for everybody.
Remember to smile.
Yeah, you do, Carol.
I'm gonna put you guys backstage for a minute, close the show out, and we'll be with you in
Okay.
a minute. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in tonight. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We will be back. I will be on Friday night again, and then we'll be back again on Sunday night. Same time, same channel. Remember, if you're being bullied in the paranormal field, you do have a voice. Nobody's better than anybody in this field. We're all after the same common goal to prove the existence of life after death. So with that being said, everybody, God bless. Have a good night. And we will see you Friday night, 8 p.m. Central. Ignore the 8 p.m. Saturday. I haven't had time to change that video yet for the closeout. And everybody have a good night. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon. Yep, now we're off.